Hello, hello. My name is Charles Wayne Bass, and I am excited to apply at Morton College as the online adjunct speech instructor. And so, what I thought I would do is just kind of give you a little bit of a example, I guess, of how I kind of teach my online classes. Tulsa Community College, I've been teaching there since 2015, and I've taught a number of online courses with them, and they've allowed me to, just kind of run with it how I like, and the way I do it is I make these videos so that the students who are taking the online class can kind of watch them at their leisure. Of course, they have a timeline; they have to get it done within a week. But in here, I kind of highlight, what I want done. And so what I want to do just real quick, I'm not going to go over the outline, but just kind of just give you an example of kind of like my teaching style. But anyways, yeah, I just teach the students that, speeches are broke up into three sections: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion, as you can see here. And then I go into each step. In the introduction, the first thing you want to do is grab the audience's attention. And I kind of explain a little bit about, how and why to do that. One of the ways to do that is by giving quotes. I love using quotes because what it does is it makes you seem really smart without having to really put in a whole lot of work. I mean, in all honesty, all you have to do is just type in your topic and then put the word quote at the end in a Google search, and you will find some really inspirational quotes related to your topic, and your audience is going to love it. And it's a great way to grab their attention. Then after that, I explain the importance of unveiling the topic right afterwards so that your audience isn't sitting there thinking, wait, that was a really good quote, but what does that have to do with anything? And because the thing is if they're sitting there thinking about what was the point of that, they're not thinking about you and what you're saying. They're not listening to you. It's kind of like whenever you're talking on the phone and watching TV at the same time. Your focus is going to be on one or the other, and it's hard to focus on both. And so anyways, for that reason, right after your attention getter, you need to unveil the topic. And then, of course, I kind of go through the same thing with the rest of the introduction, and then I explain about the body, three main points, and you want them to be distinct. And I mean, you guys know all this. I'm not going to bore you with that. And then, the remaining parts of the conclusion. And anyways, and then after I've done that, then I just I give them kind of an example of a speech and showing them how mechanical public speaking actually is. Now, of course, later on in the semester we get into delivery and all the nonverbals associated with it, but and there's things that I've left out on this because, well, this is just for the introductory personal experience speech. Later on we get into transitional statements and stuff like that. But anyways, I just give them this example to see this example speech to see how I want them to kind of follow along. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a speech and highlight where I'm at in the outline. So anyways, I'll begin. In 1865, English novelist pen name Carol Lewis shares the epic saga of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. Even though this story has been categorized as literary nonsense, it has actually been quite helpful for me in the decision-making process. And so today, I'm going to talk with you about the lessons learned from Alice in Wonderland. Like I said, I've read this story several times. I've watched every version of movie that they come out with, and each time I learn something new. And hopefully, after sharing this speech, it will have a deeper meaning for you and could possibly help you when making tough decisions throughout life. And so today, those three lessons that I'm going to cover are: first, chasing good rabbits; second, excusing ourselves from the Mad Hatter's party; and third, knowing our end goal. First, I would like to talk about chasing good rabbits. As we know in Alice in Wonderland, Alice meets a well-dressed rabbit who is articulate and interesting, and Alice was definitely intrigued, so she chased this rabbit until this rabbit chased her, or led her down the hole and into a world she did not want to be a part of, a world that didn't make sense. How many of us have known people who have chased bad rabbits that have led us to bad places, such as drug and alcohol abuse? And just like Alice, these people who fall down that rabbit hole spend the rest of their story trying to get out of this bizarro world. What I've learned is that it's just as easy to chase the good rabbits as it is to chase the bad rabbits. So, the first lesson that I've learned is be aware of what rabbits you're chasing. And now that we discussed chasing good rabbits, I'd like to turn our attention to my second lesson learned, which is excusing ourselves from the Mad Hatter's party. As we know, Alice is trying to get out of Wonderland, and she comes across this party, and it was fun and engaging, and everybody's having a good time. Nobody's doing anything necessarily bad, but they weren't doing anything necessarily good either. I mean, it was, at the end of the day, just kind of a waste of time, and she was nowhere near closer to her goal. And when Alice finally realized this, then she needed to step away from the party and excuse herself. Sometimes that's what we need to do as well. Even though we may love the party and the people at the party, sometimes we need to step away and say, I will see you later, but I've got some stuff I got to take care of, and continue on our journey and wish them well. My third and final lesson learned is when Alice is traveling down the road and it splits into several different paths and she's not sure which way she should go. So she asks help from the Cheshire Cat, and the cat, he asks, well, where are you trying to get to? And she says, I don't care as long as I get somewhere. And then the cat responds with, well, if you don't know where you're going or you don't care where you're going, then it doesn't matter what path you take. And so the same is true with us. If we don't know what our end goal is, if we don't know what our finish line is, then what does it matter what path we go down? So, in conclusion, today we have discussed the lessons learned from Alice in the Wonderland, which are 1. Chasing good rabbits, 2. Excusing ourselves from the Mad Hatter's party, and the third one, knowing our end destination. They refer to this book as literary nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that this book is literary gold. Thank you. And so, anyways, this is kind of the outline, and this is a little bit kind of like what my online classes are like. And students, they'll watch my video and email me, and there's even been times where they've had questions, they want to talk to me, so we set up a Zoom meeting when we're both available, and we have those conversations, which I absolutely love doing. Anyways, I would be thrilled to be a Panther. Feel free to contact me at my email or phone number, and once again, thank you so much for your time.